Fox News alert, a bloody weekend in several major U.S. cities as New York City reports an uptick in shootings, all amid ongoing calls to defund the police. Let's bring in Republican New York City Councilman Joe Borelli. Councilman, good morning.
Morning, Ed.
We've run through this already in the program. Minneapolis, Seattle, Chicago, all kinds of violence here in your city. 22 shootings this weekend alone. You've got the bail reform where Mayor de Blasio, basically various people get caught for crimes. They're back out on the streets quickly. The defund the police movement. Is this just a perfect storm right now?
No, it's not just a perfect storm. A storm happens because of nature. A storm happens because of divine intervention. A lot of the problems we're seeing now in New York and cities elsewhere are the results of some progressive far-left policies, including New York's bail reform and other policies. Now, on the horizon, there's a new storm, and it's defund the police. And I suspect that just like when we have more fires, we need more firefighters. When we have more potholes, we need more paving crews. We're going to see that when crime rises, we're going to need more police officers.
You put out a tweet over the weekend that caught my eye, and we have some video of this scene in Brooklyn. I want to play a little bit of what was happening. Watch this. So there were 22 shootings, I mentioned, throughout the city, not all in Brooklyn. This was a scene in Brooklyn where it appeared that some folks were firing fireworks at one another, but I saw other video where you couldn't tell. Was there gunfire? Is there fireworks? What's really happening? It just seems like chaos in some parts of the city right now.
Well, this is the result of the police not being proactive, not going after the type of quality of life complaints we've normally expected them to. Fireworks calls to 311 have actually gone up 80 times since last year at this time, the week leading up to 4th of July. So the majority of people in New York City are home, and they want the police to take some action. But we see with the progressive agenda that's driving American policing in large cities, it's almost become not worth it for police officers to intervene in a situation. Look, every interaction a police officer gets into has the risk of becoming violent, involving a gun, involving a taser. And I don't blame police officers for just making the decision that if there's no criminal penalties attached to something like fireworks, it's not worth their job, it's not worth their pension or life to intervene.
Get all the pressures on the police. We've covered that story closely. I'm glad you make that point. On the other side of this, we did a story a short time ago about a police officer that, based on video in Queens, another part of New York City, was using a chokehold that now should be banned here. What are your thoughts on the police at a time when they're under heavy scrutiny, some still not doing the right thing?
Look, I said this was going to happen very quickly, and I'm actually shocked at how quickly it did happen. But the reality is, for New York State, it is a law now that New York State police officers cannot use this chokehold. And in the city, it doesn't even matter whether the officer is fighting for his life. I won't make a determination and put myself in that cop's shoes, but all police officers in the NYPD should realize how quickly this officer was suspended without pay and how serious the department is taking it.
So they want accountability, and as you say, we don't want to get ahead of the facts. We've seen the video. We don't know what happened right before that to lead to all of that. The investigation is going to move forward, and we'll follow it. Joe Borelli, appreciate your insight this morning.
Thank you.